on? Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast. We're back, and if you weren't there for Romeo Max live on Saturday night, you didn't get to experience the car like we got to experience. So we're
Yes,
here to let
sir.
you know how it went down. I'm Paul Pickle Winham Concha. We're going to talk UFC 299, O'Malley Vera 2, and who's with me?
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev, Water Voices Boy, aka the Don PYE, aka the realest on your screen.
Yo, what up, son? It's your boy, comedian Romeo Mack. You know me. I'll be out here podcasting every Saturday, doing the live UFCs. You can also catch my new gaming podcast, Game On with Romeo Mack. What up, fellas?
Kind of fight, game on. How far with that?
Hey, man, we
appreciate it.
talking fights. We talking fights with the fellas.
Man, that this weekend, I mean, it's still early in the year, it's March, but I think it's safe to say best card of the year so far.
Yeah, this weekend was insane.
Yeah.
It's been so good.
I was thinking maybe
during the card.
Austin.
Austin was good. Austin,
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it was touching this one.
It definitely wasn't worst card. I had someone message me saying this might have been one of the worst cards this year. I was like, bro,
Who
did you
said
watch
that?
the same fucking? Oh, a coworker of mine.
Did you drown?
But he don't be watching shit with. He don't have no friends for real. Like he just be in the
Yeah.
house staring at the TV alone, watching that shit, and to be like, really like comparing shit like that. And I'm like, right, like I was in a call. I was getting lit. Like I was like, we was talking so much shit. I'm like, you really got to experience this, the real atmosphere. Go to a bar. Like go that you can't just
Guys,
you can't judge these cards off of just like by yourself reaction at the crib. Like
fun
this shit was something to watch with a team of people.
Yeah.
fact. Just fun fact: all MMA people are friends in bars. I shit you not.
MMA is such a niche category of sports because
it's not
everyone
like
has a favorite
boxing.
basketball team. Oh, everyone has a favorite football team. But you find out someone over here knows what an amapada is, like, oh my boy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we've been friends for life, right? Like you were faithful.
That boy pulling up my nigga.
That's true.
No, but I mean,
That's how I met you guys. I was like, hey, they like MMA.
My nigga.
I would say definitely out of all the episodes on the pod, like the ones that get the most viewers are the MMA and boxing ones. The NFL, there's just, there's so many other
Yeah.
people out there talking football.
Yeah, I think the Tied to Ivasa, that live, I think it just broke 1,000, and I know the Ngannou
Was
Fury
that the
one.
UFC France card?
Nah.
Because I remember it was a Thai card with in France with him versus Gone.
I meant Ilya Taporia, my bad. The Ilya Volk one.
Oh,
Yeah, that card, it just did 1,000 when I went live, and then the Francis Ngannou, I got like 1,000 views on that one. So MMA is jumping.
I was this card.
MMA goes crazy.
I think I got 6.
Six, not bad.
Yeah, but I also feel like a lot more people probably were buying the actual pay-per-view and didn't have time to fucking sit and watch because I think they broke a pay-per-view record too, right?
Oh, I didn't get all the numbers for that. I'm still kind of blown away about just the fights. Like
Yeah.
Still kind of like certain ones. I mean, for a while we were all pretty solid on the picks. Like we just go down from the bottom. Like we all had the Taekwondo silver medalist, Robizlis, Desperange. Y'all
Did
see
not need more than 20 seconds in life for nothing.
Bro, that knockout was he had like slipped and fell and got back up and like continued to knock him out. I was like, bro, like he's different.
It looked
This
like
motherfucker-
it looked like he fell, got up, did the moonwalk, and was throwing punches. He whooped that guy's ass in like 3 seconds from falling. That was bad.
All in 3 seconds, you went from watching a man fall to getting your ass knocked out. It didn't make sense.
On the back foot too. It's not like he had time to like, yeah. He was like falling. You know, like what's that? Grand Theft? Nah. What's the Mortal Kombat when they do the ice on the floor? He was falling like that.
Yeah, like he's a pro, and he's 35, so that's why everyone's like they gotta push him soon because he can't be 40 fighting for a title. But like, I mean, 18 seconds. I mean, I know Josh Parrison's not the highest caliber athlete, but this guy, Josh Parrison, might be a champion at some regional MMA that you might be watching. Like the way he's just effortlessly disposing of these people is crazy. Look at this. And we're gonna see probably 2 or 3 more fights like this before the UFC is forced to throw him in with some real killers, because like his striking is so insane.
By the time he got his footing right to like actually fight, the dude was already knocked out. That's crazy.
Cuba, you got yourself another killer.
Yeah, you got to kill on
Yo,
your
give him
hands.
one more fight and then give him Derek Lewis. That's all I'm saying.
And then this next fight, I did miss, but Michelle Piera showed Mikel that there's only room for one of us in this city, bro.
He put
He
on the
took care
show
of business.
from walkout to walk out again. Walking out to the cage to walking back to the back. He put on a whole show.
And less than it took a minute and a second. I was gonna say less than a minute, but all within basically a minute, he took care of business, got the submission. I actually didn't get to see this fight, so I really would like to hear what exactly happened. I see the dub.
Oh, let me tell you. So, hold on. Yes, this was round 1, right?
Yeah, round 1 submission.
Okay.
Got some strike.
Let me tell you exactly how it happened. They were standing around, right? They were trading a couple of shots. Paella was definitely getting the best of him. And then all of a sudden, was it a straight left? I know it was a body shot. You know what I'm saying? And he hit Mikhail in the body shot. And Mikhail kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And then he didn't just jump on him. He kind of like crouched in first. Then he pounced on him, beat him up, punched him. This is him against the cage, right? He fucking punched him. The dude was knocked out. Like, he was going knocked out mode. Bully mode, snatches him midair by the throat and then fucking chokes his ass.
God damn.
It was almost like when Mighty Mouse slammed the dude and then did like a arm bar in the midway. He punched the dude, and as dude was, he snatched him so viciously when he was falling down. He snatched him like, no, bitch, stay up.
It was one of those like when like if your kids start acting up, you snatch them up real quick. Like,
yeah, and then it was like the rear naked choke. It's like his whole body was on the back of that dude's neck, like he was on his shit, like because he was against the cage.
Like upper position.
Yo, like you know, normally they'll fall over. Like he was just like, no, nigga, I've mastered teetering on people's necks. Dog, it was bad, dog. And then like the guy like tried to tap, but then he like went to sleep, and then the ref couldn't tell. He's like, is he asleep? Because he was never really awake because he was knocked out from the punch. So the ref even was like, what the fuck? So he did the little WWE wrist grab. He's like, yo, get him off. And then he got off, and he was like, explosive. It was violent, and I loved it. And it was great.
That shit sounded awesome. I'm mad I missed this fight.
Hey, and shout out Michelle Piera, because back-to-back losses in 2019, 2020, he got one was a disqualification on his part. Another one was his unanimous decision loss. But since then, since 2020, rattled off 7 straight dubs. And like some decisions, a vicious knockout in his last fight, and now a nasty ass submission in this fight. So like, you know, Dana White don't just like winners. He likes winners that can put on a show. And like Pierre's doing it. 7 straight. I mean, he didn't take much damage. That boy deserves to be on be in Brazil at 301 if they haven't filled that card up yet.
Yeah, he should.
Pop out.
But who would he fight at 180?
I don't know. That's what
Jared
Dana figured out.
Cannonier.
Bam. Make it happen.
I'll take that.
Next fight, this one comes with some controversy. This was the Felipe. We don't really have to talk this fight, really. It wasn't that big of a deal. But Felipe Lins getting the win over Ion Cutelaba. One of, I think, 2 underdogs to win the whole card. So that was one of the big deals. And the other big deal was Cutelaba outstruck the dude by like 40, 50 shots and still lost the fight. A lot of people felt like Lins shouldn't have won the fight because, yes, he was getting takedowns. Not at a good percentage, he was just getting takedowns and holding him there, but Cutelaba was doing the most damage throughout these fights. I still am happy with the Lins win because this is one of the few that I had, and I think Romeo took Cutelaba or some shit, so I was talking shit and during it, but fast forward, this fight really don't mean a shit to me.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I was going for Cutelaba. I don't care what they're saying, like, oh, he threw more. Bro, it did not look good. It didn't look like he won. I'll tell you that right now. When the fight was done, I didn't think he won. I didn't think he lost either, but you know. So for someone saying like,
if you don't know if you won or lost a fight, that's not a good position to be going to judges.
And I'm not talking about like how they be lying to themselves either. Like, yo, I thought I won. They know.
They know.
And then we can kind of bounce over to Carlos Philip Munoz fight. It was a boring unanimous decision. Everyone kind of knew Philip.
I'm not gonna lie, we enjoyed covering that fight. That shit was fun.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of know Kyler Phillips doesn't fight often, but when he does fight, he wins. So that's the weird thing about him. He just kind of got to be more active because no one gives a fuck about him no one talks about Kyler Phillips at bantamweight. Bantamweight's a great division. He could definitely be a talking point of a rising star, but he fight once a year. No one gives a shit.
And he looks multiracial. It's very weird.
Yeah, he looks multiracial, or he could be a white guy from California that surfs. Like, I don't know what he
In
is.
that ring, he looked like a black guy. I was like, this guy, what is he? Jesus? He looks like every race. What is he? Tiger Woods?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the picture. He definitely looked crazy white on Tapology.
Yeah, in that ring, I was like, this is a nigga. This is not the same guy. I was like, did he Michael Jackson?
And then you look at his face photo, and he looked kind of Asian with it.
That's
like,
what I'm
oh no.
Look, he's Jesus.
Dana White would have a field day promoting him all across the world.
Oh yeah,
This is the race bender.
He could literally go to any country. He'd be like, I got a little of that in me. No one's gonna question him.
And then we had a fight that another kind of controversial, but I mean, I had it one way. I don't know how other people had to go the other way. But Gamrot beating RDA.
Whooped his ass.
Yeah, RDA dropped him early, but outside of that early droppage, what else did he do? Let's be real. Like, was there like the Gamrot just knows how to fucking shoot takedowns and get them and sit on you.
Bro, that first round, RDA came out so strong. I'm in this bitch watching RDA fight thinking like, yo, this is what a former champion is supposed to look like. This is what we was talking about, like, yo, we don't think he's going to win, but RDA is a solid dude. But after that, shit did not matter. Shit, that was a good first round. He went crazy, but that was it.
I don't remember the fight too much, if I'm being completely honest, but I do remember RDA getting tired, and that shit affected the rest of the fight. And
11 of 19 takedowns with Gamrot.
Yeah, Gamrot just whooped his ass. That's what I remember. I remember it being one-sided.
Yeah, and that takedown, like, that spam takedown offense is so interesting to me because, like, you really have to be ready for that because they're just gonna keep going. And if you're landing the motherfuckers like Gamrot is, because what's that percentage? What, like 60 something?
55, 58.
55. Yeah, like that shit is scary.
Well, 55% is not good if you're going like.
Wait, how many takedowns was it?
19. He got 11 of them, so he's probably around like 60% really. But like, if you see 55 to 60%, you're like, that's not that good of a percentage. But it's one of those things where like.
The higher the attempt.
Yeah, the higher the volume. It's a Marab thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that 50% is not good, but when you shooting 40 takedowns in a fight, you got 20 takedowns. That's a good percentage. Like, so yeah, it's a more of a volume thing. But
you have to have the cardio to deal with that.
Gamrot's getting to a weird point though, because like he has wins over Turner, Fiziev, RDA. He lost to Dariush, and that controversial 50-50 win over Arman Tsarukyan. I think honestly, like and Dariush, like if he lost to Dariush on a close fight, that's one thing. But it was the fact that Dariush stopped every single takedown, dropped him, kind of laughed at him when he dropped him, walked him down some more, and it was a one-sided fight. That was kind of like, damn, like. If Dariush could do this to you, and Dariush got fucking cooked by the next guy, and then we got to see what happens to Dariush or Oliveira. But like Gamrot's now in this weird position where, I don't think Dana knows what to do with him because you can't put him into a title fight and
he'll fight the loser.
Like, is he fight like if Tsarukyan does he get the Arman Tsarukyan rematch to
he gets the loser of Charles
and Arman. Probably. That's I think is the best point for him because there ain't really much else for him. He's definitely not getting a title shot after this. Even though these are good wins.
Well, he could get Dustin Poirier.
They could get
that is a good fight.
Michael Chandler is still
they could
waiting
give,
for somebody.
Saint Denis. He could get Saint Denis.
True. These are good points. Good point.
Yeah, he got a few options in there.
Yeah. But if you asked me a couple of days ago, I would have been like, man, BSG kills him. Now I'm just like, oh,
ain't Paul Felder coming back?
No, you keep that one.
He ain't gonna get him.
All right, on to the next one, but real quick, beep, beep, beep. Got that dump trunk on her.
Yo, wasn't it fat?
I hate this nigga.
Yeah, I had to park that dump truck real quick. Fucking Macy Barber, America's newest sweetheart, with the unanimous decision win. How do you feel? I'm gonna throw this to Romeo and you real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Macy Barber lost. I did not expect.
Really?
Yeah, I did. That fight was a little. It was too close. That girl, Caitlin Chukagian or whatever the fuck her last name is, Camaro. I don't know.
Sarukian, like whatever that shit is.
Yeah, she changed it because she got married. What is it, into a man? I don't know. But yeah, she kept her at bay with the She kept her. She used her reach and shit. And then when Macy Barber got in, that bitch was throwing her the fuck off, yo. Macy Barber did not fight good. I did not think she was gonna win that. Matter of fact, the fact that they had it unanimous, I'm like, no one. Yeah, I feel like they're just pushing Macy Barber at this point because she's hot. And I don't even say that about Milk.
About Milk.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I missed this fight, but this was the battle of the baddest. They pulled out they baddest little bitches for this one, but dang, I missed the fight. So like,
Caitlin's ugly. What are you talking about?
nah, that's what we're like. This is because she's like the number one. She's been like the number 2 or 3 contender in that division forever, type shit.
Oh, bad fighters. I thought you meant like sexy bad. I was like, man, she's running really neck and neck with the girl from PFL and Holly Holm. You know, they're all in the same group. They all go out together.
You're correct. But Paul, man, I missed this fight. Did you catch this one?
The Macy one?
That boy Romeo said, I don't know, the judges might have missed it.
I said Macy should have lost, and I had money on Macy.
See, I kind of agree until the number breakdown. Like visually watching, I felt like I'm calling her Chuakian because that's what I'm used to. But Caitlyn was getting, I thought, the better exchanges, and whereas Macy was, because like Joe Rogan and them were definitely slobbing on Macy. Like
Yeah.
they're like, look at it. Like every time Macy lands a shot, you can see the power difference. I'm like, Caitlin's walking fucking straight forward every exchange. There's nothing she's hitting her with that's making her fear anything. And I don't know what the hell it is.
Macy, she kept looking like, I don't know how to figure this bitch out. She was switching stances. I'm like, damn, you just.
This fight to me was 29-28 either way. I would have probably edged it towards Macy when I see the numbers of like significant strikes and everything. But to see 30-27s in 2 of them, like 2 30-27s, and a lot of people were saying 30-27, I was like, that was a good fight. It was close. Like, no real takedowns. Like, there was a couple, like, Macy had a couple, but it was she'll get right back up. But, like, on the feet, this was a close-ass fight, in my opinion. Can't say robbery because anyone really could have won that fight.
Yeah.
But 30-27 to me was kind of crazy for it to be everyone saying it like it's fucking the word of God.
I just feel like the UFC wanted Macy to win, and that's why it happened. It was close enough for them to say, all right, fuck it. Just like the Sean O'Malley Piotr Jan fight.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say just like the Sean O'Malley and Tito.
Oh.
We'll get into that a little bit.
That shit was 100-0. You know what I'm saying?
Next fight, Curtis Blades, KO and Jelton Almeida, and I try to fucking tell y'all, put respect on America, baby.
Bruh,
I was scared at first. Jelton in that first round, I was like, fuck, it's working. Jelton take him down. Uh-oh. No, this ain't good for Curtis. And then Curtis said, hold my beer real quick. And then hit him with that fucking heavy hands for my boy Curtis. Like,
bruh, this was one of my favorite fights of the night just off the fact that, like, Jelton was slinging him around, ragdolling him the whole first round. We're like, yo, this man just got to be strong. Couldn't just be picking up Curtis Blades like that. And then he keeps butts. He got knocked the fuck out because this motherfucker didn't want to fucking throw hands. Because we was on the live talking about, yo, bro, I understand you're stronger than him. But throw some hands, kid. Like, Curtis Blades is a wrestler, and he's not trying to wrestle with you. He's trying to stand up. So, like, bust Jit real quick, and then take him down if you want. But motherfucker didn't want to throw hands, and he got his ass caught with that fucking sneaky uppercut. And Curtis Blades gave him at least 52 motherfucking hits, kid. I'm talking about boom, 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 boom.
As soon as he dropped him, bro, he was like, remember all that shit you was talking in the first bitch? Like, fucking start going in.
He gave him the one-hand it man. But I took this fight under 2.5. So I didn't bet against Curtis, but I did think Curtis was going to lose, which rightfully so. You seen round 1. But I didn't know Jolton Almeida was a fucking idiot. This dumb fuck. Curtis won because of experience. Jolton Almeida, He's a fucking retard. This motherfucker just all he wanted to do was grab and drag. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, you're not Hamzat. He thought he was.
He
Just
thought he
do
was
half
Russian
of
for a
Hamzat. Yeah, you
second.
know what I'm saying. I'm like, dog.
Literally.
It's cool to get him down. That's why, like, same thing with Rafael Dos Anjos. It's like, dog, you let that guy take you down 1,000 times, and you're from Brazil. You're not doing no jiu-jitsu. Jolton Almeida, you got him down. You're not mounting and full mounting and doing jiu-jitsu. As strong as you are, you're not trying to fucking break this guy's arm or choke him the fuck out. You're just trying to hold him there.
Facts.
There's hints of
shit.
homosexuality. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, never mind.
Good old American wrestling.
I was with him for like 93% of that.
That might have been
like,
Greco-Roman. That Jolton
He had
me.
But nah, this fight, I wouldn't say it made me mad. Shout out Curtis Blades because I was a lit win, but I know Jelton is sick. Like, you gave up the undefeated streak because you didn't want to fucking fight.
But I am a big believer, and Curtis Blades would be a champion in a lot of other heavyweight eras. That's why, like, anytime I can see you get Blades as an underdog, I always root for him because I'm like, bro, his wrestling is so good. His hands are decent enough for him to be able to do the shit he does. But his wrestling is so good. But like, if Francis didn't exist, he probably would have won. He probably would have beat Stipe, get the belt eventually. If Derek Lewis didn't exist in that 2018, 2019 run where he was just knocking shit out and like making memes left and right. Even then, Curtis Blades was winning that whole fight until the fucking uppercut that ended him. So like, I think Curtis Blades is a hell of a fighter. Like, I think early 2000s, mid 2000s, late 2000s, like when Brock Lesnar, Randy Couture, when these fuckers were running the divisions and shit, I think Curtis Blades would have made light work of these boys. But he's in an era where John Jones is now champion, and then after him is Tom Aspinall, and then Sergey Pavlovich. And then before those guys, so you had Francis, the freak of nature. Like it was like he happened to run into some heavy hitters where he's just in the wrong era.
Yeah, that's all. And
yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, he probably and then it was he was a little younger. He's got the experience now. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked in good shape too.
And next fight, now we're on to the main card of fights. Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. And this one I hopped on the live real quick. What's up, Kev? I think you want to say something?
I was about to say, before we get straight into the main card, that fight showed me what the rest of the night was going to be like, though. I thought the fights that I did get to see in the prelims were kind of okay, decent. But that, when fucking Jelton got knocked out, I was like, oh, this card is about to be insane for Miami. This is about to be a fun-ass fucking card.
See, I'm talking shit about that knockout. The crazy thing is, I watched that first round. I was sitting there like, bro, my fucking bet is cooked, bro. Fuck, Kurt. I walked away, came back, and I was like, what the fuck are we walking out for the next fight for? What the fuck happened to the last one? I saw the KO. I was like, oh, let's go. That shit changed my attitude.
How you take more than 2 hammer fists to the temple and don't unclasp your hands to defend yourself? He held on all the way till he got knocked out and just rolled over.
Them BJJ people, bro, like Paul Craig, him, Gilbert Burns, bro. I think it's muscle memory to the point where I know you didn't watch anime really, but like fucking Naruto, back when like Rock Lee got back up on his feet after Gaara cooked him, like it's just one of those where they can't help it, bro. They just literally like their muscles, even if they're unconscious, they're still trying to do a fucking triangle, and they're like while unconscious.
Now
like,
that's the thing. See, Gilbert would have attempted submissions. This guy never did. That's what I can see if he was going for a submission. He just held it. Like no, that's why I said there's some LGBT afoot.
We gotta keep it moving on that note.
LGBT crazy.
Cooking Song Yadong. This was a good ass fight, but I don't think anyone could disagree with 29-28 Yan. That was a great fight, but those last 2 rounds, I felt like Yan won them. This is when I hopped on the live with y'all boys, and it was a show ever since.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Romeo, I know you want to say something.
I'm a fan of Song Yadong, you know what I'm saying? But I just knew it wasn't the time now. And I also knew Yan was like, you're trained by the guy I beat up, so I'm finna beat you up.
The guy who taught you everything couldn't use that to beat me. Why do you think you could, buddy? First round, though, Song came in with the cooking. But as we know, Yan usually lets that first round go. And picture perfect Yan.
Downloading data.
Third round, started mixing shit together.
Yeah, I think I love this fight because me being somebody that likes Song Yadong but was rooting for Yan, I think that Yan won the last 2 rounds for sure. But that first round did not think you immediately thinking that Yan could take this fight. And then that third round, you didn't think Yan won it until like he fully got the takedown. And then it was like, okay, yeah, fucking hold him down and fuck him up. Like, yeah, like that was a good, like that was the perfect fight to get drunk to. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
There's moments of Yan where he looks like the best fighter on the planet. Like there was a certain moment halfway through the second round where like he was just in the zone. Like he knew the perfect range. He could read the punches and like he was landing like a straight left, knowing the counter right is coming, ducking under the counter right with a body hook that lands like perfectly on the body, and then all of a sudden the next exchange as he's walking forward, walking Song down, he does the same thing, but instead of like he lands the straight, and then whenever he goes to protect the body, he goes for a double leg, and it's a perfect scoop double leg, and he's on like top position with it, and like and it's 2 different exchanges all within a matter of 6 seconds. And you're sitting there like, holy fuck! Like Yan has made that look like effortless, yeah. And if it wasn't for Aljo and it wasn't for Marab, would have been like he would have been running this shit for a little while. Yeah. If it wasn't for them boys. And he's one of the few like real Russians. I feel like we got a lot of Muslim Russians, like Dagestani warriors, but he's one of the few that are like he's gonna ride for Putin if Putin gives the word. Like he's one of them.
Not facts. Now you gotta love Yan, man, and it's good to see him get a win. And it's good to see Yan get this. I got fucking cat ass in my face.
You do.
But if
like,
he's on
it's time, what are you doing? You know what time it is.
I'm brand new.
I gotta get my vape. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Kev?
It's good to see Yan get a W.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on that side of on that side of history in quite some time.
And now we don't have to ask the question, what is he going to do next? Subject.
Oh. Next fight, this one takes the cake here. Gilbert Burns losing to Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, and I think this is the point. If I could tell you to go back and rewatch any fight on the Saturday live with us, this would be the one. Y'all watch the roller coaster because we all picked Gilbert Burns. We all had Gilbert Burns in the parlay. We all was counting our money before the fight ended. And boy, oh boy, the JDM hit him with a knee. First off, he gets out of the takedown, back to the feet, and immediately throws that knee from standing back up. And Gilbert Burns, boom, jumps right into it. Tries his best to stay alive. But as we know, JDM finished that fight, got the dub. And shout out to JDM for not only getting the win, went down probably 2 rounds and going into that 3rd round, but also having a broken fucking arm in the 1st round after Gilbert throws a head kick, he blocks. It snaps that bitch. And he fought the rest of the fight with 1 arm and ends up getting that win.
He's a killer.
450 tough. F-150 tough.
Facts.
Well, before this, when we were doing the picks, this fight went exactly how I said it would. It's just that Jack did that last shit in the last, 20 seconds? There's a minute and a half left. I said Gilbert was going to go for the take. I thought Gilbert was going to win by submissions, and he was doing just that. It just didn't work out for him. I guess because he's so much shorter than him, he had to keep exerting the jabs and stuff, because you could see early on Gilbert was more fatigued than him.
And it wasn't Afro Burns either.
It wasn't. It was cornrow Burns. I'm like,
yeah, you should have seen how hype we was getting when we found out. We was like, oh, it's up. It's over for you, Jack.
Cornrow Burns. Cornrow Burns. Yeah, but
yeah, what?
Damn.
And this is so we had the Curtis Blades uppercut that put Jalton out. We had the JDM knee that put Gilbert out. These are 2 perfectly timed counters. This is the shot that everyone tells you to throw if you're fighting someone who likes to shoot a lot of takedowns. They literally did exactly what you're supposed to do. And we'll talk it more on the next couple in the 3 fights now. But Sean O'Malley's knee that probably would have killed a normal man against Cheeto Vera. No, it wasn't a takedown, but like how rare, like it's rare to see one of those shots land the way they did in any fight night card. But we had 3 of those like perfectly thrown knee/uppercut and on the same card. I felt like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck JDM, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, he fucked my parlay up.
Yeah, I did say I had to put an asterisk next to this on like next time JDM fights anybody who has great takedowns, bet against him.
Oh, facts. Now he's a demon, man. Shout out JDM for putting on for Australia and shit.
I'll keep him on my radar.
Next fight, Michael Page's debut. And what a hell of a debut it was. Oh, this is going to be a funny one. Over Kevin Holland, unanimous decision win. Some might say he potentially could have got the finish. Some might say. How do you feel about that boy Michael Page's debut, Kev? I like Kev, Romeo, because I know you got something to say.
You know, didn't I call it? Did it not happen exactly the way I said it would? I called it. I said Michael Page is too cool. He's so cool. It makes Kevin Holland look not cool. And that, with Kevin Holland's personality, I think that fucked with the way he fought. Because honestly, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Holland was the longer opponent. Him doing all that jumping around shit, at a certain point, I'm like, at what point are you not getting he's doing a jumping two-piece? You're a professional fighter. At what point are you not seeing this?
Right, there was a certain point he was landing overhand right, like over and over and over.
Overhand left. Wasn't he southpaw?
Was it left?
Yeah, wasn't he in southpaw?
It might have been no. It was right because he wasn't throwing it left. He was throwing it all the way from back here, which made it even more frustrating. Like, bro, he's throwing it from all the way from his back shoulder. Like you could see that from a distance.
And then every time he threw it, they were in the clinch. And I'm sitting here like, bro, wrap him up. Like,
Kev, you weren't. I think this is when you left for Dave and Buster's. Did you get to catch this fight? And 2, you left me all alone. I was talking out the neck about Kevin Holland. I was saying Michael Page. They're saying all his accolades, undefeated and kickbox, undefeated. I was like, bro, do you give a fuck if someone won the G League MVP 5 years in a row? I don't think so. Get that fucking bum out of here. Like I was talking crazy.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. That pizza is the best thing I've ever had, ever. But I was watching this fight in the car on the way there. I was watching like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with Kevin Holland? He did the same thing against Wonderboy. Don't get me wrong, he got his shit broke for sure. But like, he just did not fight up to par the way that he fought last year in Miami. Cause like, bro, you could have. I wouldn't say could have killed MVP, but he could have really took over this fight. And never at one point did you think like, yo, this man is the aggressor.
He should have shot more takedowns. I felt like because MVP was styling on the hands, like
literally.
I was like halfway through the second round, like, all right, you're not winning that. Like, just shoot some takedowns, use some wrestling. You have a black belt in BJJ. I want to see it.
Right.
Facts.
There's a few people who are like they're black belt BJJ, but moving forward, very suspect. Like I want to see the certificates. I want to see who signed off on it.
Yeah, he beat Kevin Holland ass, man. And then at no point in that fight I don't feel like Kevin Holland was trying his hardest until, like I said before, until it was too late. But by then it's like, what do you think you're gonna get a knockout? This guy's literally jumping on his toes. He's obviously not tired.
And pre-fight, he came out to the Undertaker shit. Took about 45 minutes to get to the fucking octagon. We was clowning his dumb ass for all that extra shit.
I was like, Izzy already did it. It was kind of corny, but it turned off, and then it did his regular shit. But I also feel like the crowd was a bitch.
With Kevin Holland, I felt like had that gangster rap, but that boy had real. I didn't know who the fuck he was listening to. I was like, he really in the trenches with some rap music, bro. I know my rappers. I was like, who the fuck is this?
I don't know, but it came out hard. But then again, yo, that crowd was shit.
It was Miami early. I would say Miami don't love, bro. They're a late ass crowd for everything.
Them niggas probably didn't even know who anybody was except the people on the poster.
Yeah, like during the finals against the fucking the Nuggets last year, they weren't showing up to the third quarter of the NBA Finals. Like it was post half, like midway, like a good 4 minutes left in the third quarter type shit showing up. They really just show up to take a picture and say they went before they hit the club. Like that's their pregame spot before hitting the Club Prime or Club Ocean.
But them niggas still sold out. Like what was it, like 14 million at the game? 19,000.
Oh, yeah. For the prices too, nosebleeds 500 at the dope. Yeah, worth it. This card definitely worth it. One of the few times I would say a $500 ticket is worth it. This was one of them.
It's a good card.
I'll
Next
tell you the time.
Co-main event. Dustin the Diamond Poirier, one of 3 underdogs to win, beating Benoit Saint Denis. I had Dustin Diamond. I believe y'all had Dustin.
I had him by submission.
You had him by submission. I had him in parlay just straight money line because he was a big underdog straight up, and I did think it was probably gonna be by finish just because BSD kind of goes so hard so early, but I definitely didn't have submission.
Like, I had him on money line in another parlay, but remember I kept saying I'm like submission. I just knew he was gonna be going for
his
submission.
dumbass went for it. I mean, he definitely should have
because he knows.
Goddamn guillotine. He tried to lock that bitch in 6 times. None of them worked.
He almost got. What you mean none of them worked? He almost got it every single time.
It was close, but they never locked in.
I don't know, because there's moments where his hand was like this. And I was like, oh, he got his wrist. Like he should got it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he was let go, and like I'm like, damn, he must have just not had the angle. But I mean, BSD got crazy pace. Definitely started gassing. I felt like in the second round, but the Dustin hit. I felt like there was a sense of fear in him at first. Like at first he was trying, like BSD was like a problem. Like he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to keep up with this pace. I don't know what to watch out for. He kind of does everything. Like I gotta watch. Like what am I doing? Like he's trying to overthink everything. What am I doing? And then when he finally settled in, was like, yo, I'm fucking Dustin Diamond Poirier. Like it's either championship or bust for me. Like that's when he locked in. He started landing these mean counters. Like I mean, like fucking it would look like BSD with those 6 shots, land probably like 4 of them on volume. But like Dustin would land 1, and that 1 would just you would see a stumble and Benoit Saint Denis. It's like, oh, like his knee give out.
Yeah,
that shit comes up in the second round. In the second round, and a couple of those later, jumps on into submission.
On the prediction show, I said I was like Dustin's gonna win on the inside boxing because like that's how he did it, Connor. And then come to find out, they're saying he knocked him out with the same punch at the same exact time. I was like, wow.
Damn, you said that.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 32 seconds of whatever round. It was the same thing as the Conor McGregor knockout with the same exact punch.
That's kind of fire.
And I knew it. I was like, yo, Dustin gets busy on that inside boxing, son. He do.
Yeah, he covers that slipping time.
You can't convince sloppy against Dustin. Dustin is one of the most technically refined fighters. So if you're a sloppy fighter, I feel like you're gonna lose that every time.
Yeah, his dirty boxing ill. I wouldn't be surprised if he was to win some bare knuckle boxing. If he was
so what killed me was we got to Dave and Buster's, right? And I was telling all the girls, I was like, yo, this French motherfucker is about to sauce up this nigga from Louisiana. I don't even give him time to give names, right? So then these girls, I'm gonna call them girls. These women, motherfucking saw this nigga Dustin and immediately was, no, fuck that French nigga. My boyfriend Dustin gonna fuck him up. And I'm like, oh. So now I'm on their ass. I'm talking shit now. I'm like, oh yeah, you finna get fucked up by this French nigga. And then the first round goes by, I was like, yeah, what I told you. Yo, we beating your boyfriend ass right now. I'm talking about we beating your boyfriend ass right now. What you talking about? And then next day, he gets slept. And I'm just on the live, eyes wide, like shit was crazy. But I didn't want to scream too much because Romeo was like, I'm not gonna scream how far back he was. I don't want to expose my dog like that. But he was kind of back.
Yeah, I was.
Like, the niggas was. I'm not gonna scream how far back.
I was like a minute and 20 seconds. A minute.
No, it was like a minute 50, kid, but it was bad.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I started watching it through your screen. And you never told that waiter to look at the camera, bro. I was like, bro, get that waiter, bro.
But I'm not even gonna get into that because I had to have a long ass phone call on customer service and support about that shit. Fuck them niggas. But
The way my bank account is set up.
but nah, that shit was so funny. But that was a great. That's what solidified the card as a top tier card. Like that moment right there was like, okay, these motherfuckers came to fight in Miami.
I was so happy because Dustin, I had already cashed in a couple good about parlays, but then the Gilbert Burns loss kind of upset me because like I had gotten every other pick right on like 8-man pick other than the Burns one, so I was sitting there kind of salty, and I was like, I'm gonna go double up. Dustin parlay with O'Malley. Let's rock. Cause Dustin was a big dog, like plus 180 by himself. So I was like, oh, parlay that with Sugar Sean. And now I'm batting like 250. Like I was like, yeah, we're gonna do that. Like I was all over it. So I mean, I felt even better when he got that KO. But I mean, BSD's a problem. You kind of got to slow it down, I think. Big thing with him is you kind of got to pace himself a little bit more, but keep the same. It's kind of a contradiction. You got to keep the same relentlessness. Just watch your pace. That makes sense. Like you can't gas yourself out, but at the same time, you got to keep that shark in the water, drowning people type of relentlessness about you, because that's a weapon all on its own when people are constantly backing up against them. And just refine your striking a little bit more. And honestly, he's not the youngest dude, but he's still young in MMA. Like he hasn't had a crazy amount of fights, especially not a UFC level fight. So he can still kind of like a Rafael Vasif. Like this loss in your career is not a big deal.
Nah,
Fix yourself up, you're gonna be a problem.
To the Diamond.
Yeah, I lost to the Diamond. Like you're still gonna be in top 10.
Yeah.
And we're still younger than a lot of these older guys that have to get out of the division soon.
Now that's if he keeps his composure, because I thought the same thing about Arnold Allen. He lost to Max Holloway and then he lost his next fight because Arnold Allen was a fucking problem. So it might happen to Benoit. So maybe Gamrot needs to get him.
I think the one thing that bugged me up about this knockout was how relentless his pace was, and then he just gets knocked out cold, quiet, like gone. I'm like, did he die?
Yeah, actually, him versus Gamrot, I think looks great because like both are relentless maulers. So like, who wins the maul will be the thing. Like who?
Oh, I got Saint Denis. I ain't gonna lie.
At early pick, I think I got Saint Denis, but on pick day, I think I might get Gamrot. It all depends on the odds. Like if they disrespect one of them on like a crazy underdog, I'm gonna go around the underdog. Next fight, our main event, the one that put asses in seats, the one that brought Trump into attendance. We had Sugar Sean O'Malley defending his belt and looking great while doing it against Chito Vera. I kind of had Sugar Sean all the way, no doubt in my mind. I felt like minus 250 or whatever the fuck it wasn't big enough. I'm not a Cheeto guy. I wish Gator was here because he's a Cheeto guy. He was talking about
I'm a Cheeto guy.
You was a Cheeto guy, so you can at least talk for y'all, for him and for your homeboy. What happened? Well, y'all talking about cash money shit come Saturday morning, come Friday night. Saturday's night is a different story now.
Boy.
One of two things happened. Either Cheeto was too angry or he got exposed. If the Pedro Munoz or if the Pedro Munoz fight didn't expose enough. Well, now he got confirmed because the Pedro Munoz fight he got exposed. This just kind of confirmed it.
I will say, my opinion, at least in my history, that was the loudest knee I think I've ever heard, ever. When he landed that fucking knee on Cheeto. And every time they replay it at full speed and you hear it every time. Yeah. It's insane. Like I'd be sitting there like, holy fuck! Like I don't know. But Cheeto's a dog. I'll give it to him. Cheeto's a fucking dog. Right? It was one of those fights come 5th round. I was like, bro, Cheeto, you don't have to go out there and prove nothing to nobody. Like you did it, big homie, bro. Just sit down, bro. Just sit down.
Yo. Was it at the weigh-in? Was I with you guys? I don't know. But I remember I was saying, I was like, Cheeto has a flat face. Yeah, I'm not sure if Was I talking to y'all?
I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was on the prediction or something, but I was saying Cheeto has a flat face. Maybe it's at the weigh-in. I seen him weighing in or face to face. Something I seen. I was like, Cheeto's face is flat, so I'm actually not surprised he took that knee. His face doesn't like protrude out.
Bro, took it right here,
Yeah.
cut immediately, bro. That's like gashed open.
A little cut though.
He's different. Cheeto's chin is as different, bro. The way he took that shot, I'll give him that. I'm not the biggest Cheeto fan. I never thought he was a championship caliber guy. I thought he was a top 10 guy, a fun guy, but never put the gold around his belt type of guy. But gotta respect that chin. Gotta respect that chin.
Nah, Cheeto is insane for taking that. But shout out Sean O'Malley for just
Sandhagen. That's who exposed him.
Oh yeah, Sandhagen Ben exposed him.
One arm Sandhagen.
But shout out Sean O'Malley for just staying composed throughout that fight and just.
That was Rob Font that he fought that had one arm. I'm talking about Sandhagen when he had the one arm. He was fighting Rob Font.
In Nashville.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
But shout out them boys for staying composed and just like really the best way. Romeo said it best. Like Cheeto got beat the fuck up, and like he kind of started putting the pressure to him later in the fight, but it still wasn't enough. Like there was a group of Hispanic, like this huge Hispanic family behind me, and they were literally comedy during this entire shit. I'm talking about every 10 seconds. Dale, Chito, dale, Chito.
Yeah.
Dale. Dude, Romeo did it just like, shut the fuck up.
5th round, though, he landed his best shot in the last 2 seconds whenever the fight was over, and they just basically. That's what I respected. Was at the end of the fight, I had a feeling it was going to happen. I was like, in the last 10 seconds, I really hope they just walk straight and just let their hands go. Like, last 10 seconds, leave it all in the cage. Throw everything you got. And they did it. And then Sean caught a body shot right to the liver. It was an inside hook that landed right on that liver. And if it was one of those shots, if there was another 10 seconds on the clock, bro, it would have been a crazy ending.
He said in the press conference that the reason why he didn't walk back to his corner was because he kind of just like, after that knee, he kind of just like went down for a second. Like he just like, I want to say he was like knocked out or like the wind knocked out of him. He was like, yo, he caught. He had to like regroup for a second and catch himself.
He immediately, once it landed, he grabbed his stomach, and then the fight's over. Like, you know, the buzzer goes off, and then he just kind of like.
I think he had a good understanding of how much time he left, and I don't think he like cared.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely timed it. That's what I'm saying. I gave respect because there was like 10 seconds left. I hope they would just bang it out. Exactly what they did. 10 seconds left. You're here, I'm here. Let's fucking go. And they just threw, and he got. I mean, when you do that, you open yourself up to get caught. He did, and like it was one of those where like it was if 20 seconds later. That would have been a different ending, but they only did it because it's 10 seconds.
And then O'Malley had all the pink. He outcooled Cheeto. He outcooled him.
I don't understand why him and Cheeto have like beef though. Like, I feel like I thought after
Cheeto thinks he's lame. That simple.
Yeah, Cheeto don't like him.
You think he's a cornball? That nigga said, "Yo, you got into MMA to get pussy? What a loser."
Because you gotta look at it as like Cheeto is like a real. Think about it, like take it fighting out of everything. Like this is a real like street guy, and he's seeing somebody who's getting famous on the portrayal of a street guy, but ain't actually from it type.
Right, like O'Malley's really inspired by 6ix9ine. Like, come on now.
And then he beats him, and instead of accepting your L like a man, like how Cheeto will probably view it, like you take your L like a man. He says, "Nah, I'm undefeated," and he has all his like his fanboys pushing that same agenda. Of course, Cheeto, someone who isn't with the social media, isn't with all that extra. So he's like I said, imagine someone with a street dude versus a social media guy.
And then
like
when they fought the first time, didn't O'Malley have my bad. I was trying to say when they fought the first time, didn't O'Malley dye his hair the color of his flag?
Potentially. I wasn't big on O'Malley drinks, so I tried to avoid him.
The Argentina wasn't like red, yellow, and blue?
Yeah, the Ecuador, blue, yellow, and red.
Wherever he's from.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you see, so whenever street dude fights street internet thug, and internet thug does some extra shit like that. It doesn't matter how much more that pisses him off. This is like when Nipsey was going at 6ix9ine. It was like, bro, like you're just pissing me off more and more.
This was equivalent to. Okay, maybe it wasn't equivalent to that, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
I want to hear it.
Nate Robinson going at Jake Paul. Because Nate Robinson was looking at him like, you're not an athlete, you're just a fucking loser or whatever. And then he went in there. But
I think it's more like Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul.
But that fight sucked. Even the second fight, up until the knockout, that fight was trash.
And I will say that's the fight everyone says is the most fixed fight. I don't think it is, but all the
I don't think so either. Maybe the first
all
one.
those people out there, probably the Sugar O'Malley fans out there. I will say, biggest thing for this fight for me.
They're saying O'Malley's fight was fixed?
No, the Jake Paul Woodley fight.
Oh yeah,
but the biggest thing for me was I 100% do want to see the Merab fight. I think Merab should be champion. I think he's the best fighter in the division. But man, oh man, does Ilia Topuria versus Sean O'Malley get me fucking going, boy. Like that's the fight. Yeah, give me Merab, but for what's right and who I think should be champion. But Sean versus Ilia Topuria right now, bold take, could be the fight that breaks 1 million pay-per-views since the last one.
Honestly, that's only because the names, but skill-wise, I'd rather see Merab and Ilia.
Topuria has a whole country of Spain behind.
That's what I mean by popularity. I'm talking about skill-wise. I'd rather see Merab fight Ilia Topuria.
Facts. I see Topuria.
Sean O'Malley's gonna get killed.
Out terribly.
Sean O'Malley's gonna die.
Yeah, but I don't think the way they would sell that, they would have to do that immediately because I don't think he has that belt much longer. So if they want to make that happen, they got to do that now.
And I'm telling you, it's gonna do 1 million because all of Spain's gonna buy. You saw how much Spain fucks with Topuria. Like in the U.S., and no one, you could ask 10 people, 9 out of 10 probably don't know who the fuck he is. In Spain, I was telling Kyle, Kev, because Kyle was telling me, oh, why is he so big? I'm like, bro, in Spain, like, he went on basically the equivalent of like the Oprah Winfrey TV show. And like he went on the Spain version of the Joe Rogan's podcast. Like he basically was on the biggest celebrity. He was on Regis Kelly of Spain. Like the fucking Real Madrid was posting him, the biggest, most followed account.
Just dick riding. Fuck that shit.
All their fucking celebrities posted took a little selfie wishing his ass good luck, and they made a collage for
Spain
him.
Dick riding. That nigga's a Georgian fighter. That's why he needs to fight Merab.
But you telling me you telling me that
you telling me Georgia's not behind him either? The country of
Georgia.
Georgia?
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna do 1 million. It's not even because
him and Merab. Merab got Georgia behind him.
It's gonna be because Topuria is gonna bring his half of country, and then Sugar Sean's gonna have his 500,000 buys by himself, and bam, there's your one. That I think is gonna be the first card to go over 1 million buys since the Conor and Khabib and the Dustin.
Nah.
No other fight.
This fight. That's what I was saying. This fight broke 1 million. I think it was 1.4. This is the 4th highest pay-per-view buy, right?
Was it 1.4?
I'll give it credit. It was the highest pay-per-view outside of Conor.
I can tell you real quick, bro. I can look at that real quick. I haven't seen any numbers on the pay-per-view buys.
No, I could have sworn they said this is the 4th highest.
Possibly. I can see it because that shit definitely sold. And they pushed us like crazy.
I don't see. I would say nothing. I googled it, but I haven't seen anything. I got their salaries and payouts, but that's it.
If you listen to the matter of fact, just go to the post-fight conference. It's like within the first 30 seconds. As soon as Dana White sits down, he says it.
I think they might have made. I know they made like a record $14 million. Dollars.
That's the second highest in that building, but 4th. And number 1 outside of Conor, I could have sworn there's pay-per-views.
We'll see, man.
I haven't seen anyone. I'm on Twitter and Google. I haven't seen any reports of any pay-per-view buys. I do see what Kev said. Record gate event for 14 million or something. I don't think anything's hitting 1 million buys, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the only fight. is gonna do 1 million buys if they do Topuria versus Sugar
Oh,
Sean.
okay. It wasn't pay-per-view buys. It says the 4th highest grossing event ever. So
Okay. That makes sense. That's and the because pay-per-view buys usually take about 2 weeks to come in, like accurate numbers. You'll see reports from like media outlets, was like the more accurate numbers are like 2 weeks out.
yeah, okay. Well, shit. That's not included in. I guess that's gate and other stuff.
Yeah, merchandise, gate,
Okay.
all that stuff. But I would just say closing thoughts on 299 because it's been almost an hour. I gotta get out of here. I know y'all gotta get out of here. So, last thing I want to say as we leave.
Sean O'Malley's a good champion, and shout out Peter Yan.
I'll be convinced of the Sean O'Malley shit if he wins 2 more fights. If he wins 2 more, I'll be convinced. The same way I wasn't convinced about Volk until he beat Max the 3rd time. The same way I wasn't convinced about Kamaru until who he fought after Tyron? Gilbert. Yeah. Same way I wasn't convinced about Dustin Poirier until he beat Max Holloway. You know what I'm saying? This guy
On a show too.
Yeah, so it's like I see what O'Malley's doing, and I like him. He's cool and all, but I'm not convinced he's as good as people are saying. I'm like, nah, he can knock people out, but I don't. Like there was no takedowns. He did no submission attempts. He didn't. Like he's no Arman Sarukian. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So shout out.
Right now, he's just a good kickboxer, just kind of like Izzy. But Izzy also knew how to stop takedowns and get up real quick if he got taken down.
I gotta say, shout out 299. Honestly, in my opinion, best card of the year so far. It's gonna be in the running up until I get another feeling like I got this weekend. On paper, I don't know. I mean, everyone keeps hyping up 300, 300, 300, but 299 on paper for me was what everyone thinks 300 is gonna be. And then and the best part of it all, it lived up to it. And there was no letdown on this card. Like, yeah, it was a great card on paper, but the fights brought it this weekend. The vibes brought it. It was a great ass weekend. I haven't had a good weekend like this in quite some time. Probably because I haven't been on live with y'all boys in a while. But like this weekend was the first weekend in a while where I was like, damn, like what a great weekend of fights. Like the vibe was set.
Oh yeah.
Again, we appreciate everyone that stayed tuned throughout this whole show. Go down, like, and subscribe. Comment your thoughts on the picks. Let us hear your thoughts on what people should do next. We love hearing your feedback. I'm Paul, picking one of them. That's Kev, Waterboy Savoy. We were joined with the special guest, comedian Romeo Mack. We see him every Saturday, and y'all probably gonna see his ass every week now with the picks and recap of the UFC.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all for watching. This has been another episode of TotallyBlitzed podcast, and if y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.